My name is Andrea, Andrea Palacios Skorepa. I was born in San Ysidro, and I was brought up in San Ysidro, and I now work in San Ysidro, all by choice. My parents' choice about where I was born, but my choice about where I work and how I dedicate my life to organizing. I'm the CEO and president of Casa Familiar. We're a community-based holistic development organization, and we do many, many things. But one of the things that we do very well is get people vested in their own community. Our mission is to take the individuals and the families and help them flourish by increasing the quality of life. It encompasses a wide variety of things, but we see it as a holistic approach. For instance, when I first came to this agency 29 years ago, I decided that we would hire, whenever possible, people from the community. Why? Because I wanted the passion that people have for their community. I know that eventually funds go away, but I didn't want our skills to be taken away from the community. And because they're from town, and lots of times we've taken them from programs like from the welfare to work programs, things like that. What we found is that they're intelligent people. They just needed a break, but they know what the problems are because they've lived those issues. They know what it's like to be a single mom trying to raise a family. They know what it's like to be looking for a house to rent. So they have that empathy and that rapport with the clients they then serve. It's that connection that is made between people who recognize that the person that they're talking to knows what they're talking about. So we developed a program called the Bravo program, which was partly based on the fact that I'm an educator and the needs that I had as an educator to work with children who were having problems already at that age, and partly on research that had been done proving that if you put negative factors up against the risk factors for dropouts, you could determine to an 89% certainty level whether kids would be dropping out or not. So if you can do that by the third grade, why not work with them? And why not work before that time? And our job was to get parents to get actively involved in their schools and in their kids' education, and thereby become actively involved in their community. And so we hired Mireya, Ana, and Aurora, who you'll be meeting later on. What we did is we developed a curriculum that had, number one, information available to parents, just plain information on many, many subjects like earthquakes and immigration and food stamps, all of those kinds of things. And then also empowerment of how do the school systems work in the United States? How is it different than the school systems in Mexico? How can we take people who are trained to believe that school systems run on their own to work in a school system that wants them to become involved without being manipulated? So we needed to train people about that, and parents. And then how can we make them effective volunteers so that when they go to become volunteers in the schools, because it's proven that if you become a presence at your child's school, your child will get a better education. So how do we train people to become effective volunteers and not just another burden to the school system? So that is what we did with the Bravo program, and the and it was a very, very successful program. We had people taking the 18-week course over and over and over again. And now that has evolved into the Casa de Padres. We still have the three moms working with us. They still are our contacts at those schools. But you can imagine over 17 years have gone by and how wide their networks are and how we have brought people into the community. And all of their children have gone to college. And many of the other kids that we worked with too. One of the first evaluations that we did after 5 months of the program was that the kids had advanced a year and a half in terms of growth, in terms of reading and in the testable areas. So we know that it works, and it just comes from paying attention and giving that extra touch to kids who often need it. We're now into our second generation or third generation of kids. The people that we started working with, their children were young or not born when they started working with us, and then we've watched them grow up. And then now, and we gave them summer jobs, and we've given them, and been there for them, and they have volunteered and all of those kinds of things. Now their children are enrolled in our folkloric dance classes or our computer classes or our summer camps. So even with our own employees, but we also see it with our clients because we've worked with them when their children were young, and now we're working with their children's children. So I think we're very successful about making people aware of how important it is that they take a hand in the destiny of not only their families, but their community, their neighborhood, their street.